y'all doing tonight? Well, today I am your host, CDouble. We're live in Technicolor, if you will. Gonna Before we officially start, I'm gonna do some things so I don't come off as rinky-dink because I'm kind of by myself tonight, as you can tell, and I wanted to get as many people, or at least be able to get as many people as possible. So, yep, there it is, right there. I'm as prepared as Dominic Mysterio after getting handed a bunch of chicken nuggets. All right. So, with that being said, let's talk about it. Hey, we have a busy weekend, and if you're noticing, I don't have my co-host, the man with the most. Gotta, give him a shout out, Ladarius Brown. Um, was talking with him last week, and then something happened with his mother, and well, he took his father to a doctor's visit, and then his mom had to go to the hospital too. So his mom had to have, well, they were going to try for bypass surgery. Well, valves maybe a little more damage. So what they're doing is going for medicine. So I wanted Ladarius to feel free to go for the show, do his thing, to take this whole week off. Don't worry about the shows. I'll handle it today. And, just let them know we're thinking of them. We got them in our prayers and love. So if you're able, just reach out to them. Just tell them we love them and we're thinking about them. So, and let's see. With that being said, and, you know, that's how we're going to start the show there. And then, a minute. All right. Now that we got that done, because I sure as heck don't want to keep on my phone while I'm on here with y'all. Definitely going to talk about it. We've had a really crazy week of wrestling. Um, this weekend coming up, it's going to be Saturday night main event, and boy, that looks really good. Memorial Day, so everyone that's served, thank you all so much for everything. April and Ron, thank you so much for showing up. Always giving us love. Got to talk to Ron today. Always a pleasure. Loving chatting with my buddy. And let's see. Also, so yeah. So we live in Technicolor, if you will, and I hope you all like the show. Like I said, I'll be doing solo, uh, and we'll be thinking of Ladarius the whole time. But let's talk about SmackDown. We and we're gonna just kind of go briefly. I don't want to give you word by word and spoken word. This I feel like a lot of reviewers on this space likes to try to tell you the whole story, and you're just kind of going, dude, just what do you think of it though? I mean, I watched it, I checked it out. I don't need you to rehearse the whole thing. This isn't Othello. So coming off the heels of the Randy Orton John Cena match, Cena wins. Then they bring up Jacob Fatu, who also showed up with Solo as well as Jeff Cobb, but they're calling him JC Monteo. Um, looks impressive. I'm not even gonna BS that. The man looks really good. Um, Obviously, they're gonna build off the fact that there's maybe some heat between Jeff and or JC and Fatu. I'm all for it. Um, so let's see. Took shots. Okay. Solo introduced. Yep. Quick with the nickname. By the way, the next match was Alexa Bliss, Meechin, Chelsea Green. This was the first qualifying match for the Money in the Bank match. Alexa with the win. I thought Chelsea looked great. I thought Meechin did well, but honestly, this was about Alexa, especially with the Sister Abigail DDT. I wouldn't have mind Green winning, but I don't know if they're just going to have places, or are we going to do last chance, anything like that. If there is, that would be really cool. So, but yeah, uh, I found it funny. She was talking about winning the briefcase, BFAB actually, with Meechin, so they could cash in on the women's tag titles. And I want to go, you just can't challenge Liv and Raquel. It's not that many tag teams. The one that was here is gone. So, thought that was funny. Let's see. Of course, beating on Alexa, that's one thing. Now, we had Fraction versus DIY. DIY obviously took them out in the backstage last week when they beat the Profits. Had a really good match back and forth, and Fraction being in it, it's a breath of fresh air, and I really like the fact that this team has revitalized. I think the Guns could too, but the problem I have is I think the Guns should have been on Raw. I think that's, you did what you did, and I think that's where you're kind of losing out on. So eventually you got to get that fixed. Machine Guns come out to make the save, because they were attacking. So, but either way, Fraxium wins, and it's a good win. So, then they found out later on in the night they get to go against the Street Profits, which was very interesting. I'm intrigued by that match. I don't know what to expect, honestly. So, and one of the matches I was really enjoying was Aleister Black versus Carmelo Hayes. Actually, I thought it was a little bit better than their last match. I thought Aleister looked really good. Oh, Miss Christie's in the house. Hey, Miss Christie, happy hump day. Yeah, it's just me. I'm flying solo. So, and yes, hey, Miss April. And that also could be Ron too, Christy. They like to, throw us off a couple of times. So, but yeah, but we're talking about SmackDown right now, and like I said, Ladarius' family was taking care of family this week, so I just told him just don't worrying about the show. Just take care of the family, recharge and regenerate, and be ready. So it's hard someday, but somebody has to do it. Yeah, it is. It is. It's very hard. So I know I'm trying to stay focused myself. I had an issue that happened this past Sunday. I'll share a little later. Make sure you read your labels on your medicines, people. I found out that one of my medicines does not like the sun, and I almost overheated Sunday when I was cutting grass. So not the funnest of times. Also, so the big thing in this match was it was a no contest. Miz interfered. He still got black masked. Hayes actually walked out after hitting his springboard leg drop. And let's see. And yeah, I'm thinking when Miz is done wrestling, he needs to go ahead and just say, let me be a manager. Because he really is channeling this manager role well. So I'm actually with the point on that one. So we had Solo versus Jimmy versus Ray Phoenix. Oh, by the way, so a couple of promo spots that were there. R-Truth did an interview with Wade Barrett. And R-Truth was saying about, never giving up, never do it. Look, I don't know what all they're planning to do with this match. All I know is this: um, Cena, Truth. I think it will be a good match. I'm not going to say it'll be great. I think there's a lot of other matches actually will carry the show better. And honestly, I just think this will be a fun match, and Cena will win. And I'm intrigued to see what happens. I am intrigued because I'm wondering if you're going to play more into the does he feel bad about turning heel and wants to slide into maybe going back base. Um, but yeah, now let's talk Solo or McIntyre comes in. He's agreed to a match because late earlier that night, Priest was like, "Hey, I'm done with this. Every time we battle, there's always mass destruction. Someone gets hurt. So let's bring it here. Let's do. Oh, what's this? I can do this. Oh, that'd be nice. Oh, okay. I don't. All right. Says there are comments on the stage, but I can't. Let's see. Uh, all right. We'll check it out later. All right. So if it starts working, you'll see the comments. So, but yeah, Money in the Bank match, and it was the qualifying. So I got to go here. Solo winning kind of surprised me, but yet it doesn't because obviously we're playing into something. Um, it's just I wonder how everything else comes around to it. And let's see, solid match, cable. Okay, yeah, I've already said that. Julia is the first. So she's officially with SmackDown now, and Nick Aldis introduced her to Charlotte and to Alexa. So Fatu and McIntyre had a brief yeah, that was interesting. Phoenix, great music. It's not as memorable as Penta. I don't know. I hear Penta's better than I do Phoenix, so I wish they would kind of. I don't want to say make it louder, but I just something that we can hear it better. Um, the announcers keep mentioning their new table. Yeah, that's becoming very annoying. I'm tired of the tables. The ref missed. Okay, so the ref missed a Charles Robinson missed a pin attempt, and it was bad. I am not mad at him. It happens. It's fine. You just got to pray to Jesus and hope everyone's not going to lose your mind. But yeah, I thought that was very interesting. We had LA Knight versus JC Mateo. I like saying that a lot. And what happened was during the triple threat, LA showed up and was hitting chairs. Never got a hold of Solo, so it wasn't like there was a disqualification. But Nick Aldis said, "We're just going to go ahead and get this on." So JC got in a match with LA Knight. Very good. I would say this was a very good, just introduction to who JC is. This guy is amazing. Yes, they were talking about Lucha Underground. Yes, they were talking about New Japan. Couldn't talk about that other promotion. I don't remember. But anyway. And he looked great in street clothes. He actually looked great. And the standing moonsault still lives rent free in my head. So that is huge for me. Um, then we got the main event, and look, Tiffany Stratton, Nia Jax, they put on a match, and then Naomi. Now, by the way, great job of Naomi kind of being in the backdrop without being seen and not being heard, or however you want to put it. She was amazing. And when Jay talked to Tiffany, when, you know, I think Naya, you saw her back there. She's making herself still notice. This match, though, my God, I can't get over what happened. So Jack scraps the chair, was gonna go after Tiffany, and we see a chair. She she drop kicks the chair into Naya, and Naya bleeding instantly. So it got her good, and it was serious. Um, what a damn good match by Naya and Tiffany. Tiffany winning the match, but Naya just doing yeoman's work. But still, um, it was really impressive. I really was. I was impressed with Naya. The chair and just seeing some of the work they did and what they were able to contribute to the show was amazing. So so now we had a couple of qualified people. We have Solo for the men, and we have for the women. We had Alexa. Well, Monday Night Raw focused on the women, so there were going to be two qualifying matches. They'll do the men's next week. So with that being said, let me. Yep, yep. I know. That's why I'm doing it. So So my thoughts on SmackDown was it's a good show. It's a good watch. I always like watching SmackDown the day after. I can fast forward the commercials, and I don't feel like it takes forever to watch. That is something that's been happening, and it's not their fault. Well, it is their fault. They're the ones that program the shows, and if you can't fix it, that's why people watch. You know, look, I'm not going to say like they need to fix their stuff like, AEW because at least WWE hasn't been, stopped on a broadcast of Black Adam. So we'll discuss that a little bit after all this. So Monday Night Raw comes in. Jey Uso, you know, showing off. They showed off that match with Jay and I want to say Braun Breaker. They talking the whole card, everything, getting people excited. Logan Paul comes out. All right, Logan Paul comes out, talks about the World Heavyweight Championship, what he's going to do to Jay, and he starts actually going over facts. Then Logan had a visitor of Gunther. Him and Gunther had a serious, face off. Gunther, telling him what to expect because understand Gunther has his rematch coming June 9th. So it's like, yeah, less than a couple of weeks away. So the 24th, Jay's defending against Logan, and then the 9th, Jay's got to either Jay or Logan going to defend against Gunther. So we'll see how that happens. Jay showed up and attacked Logan Paul because it was really mainly for about Logan. Um, and finally, it's like business picked up, but it's like, we're finally now getting some interaction with Logan Paul and the champ and also Gunther. And by the way, Gunther did amazing there. We had Penta and AJ Styles versus Finn and JD McDonough. It was a good match. JD or Penta lost this match due to America Grande or Grande Americano, who looks like Omos. That might look like Chad Gable. I'm not sure. I'm still wondering. Um, he headbutted the back of Penta's head, so obviously metal plate too. So it's hot too. He did the move, and then he's stumbling into the ring, and he takes the L. So Penta's not buried. It's just the way it happens sometimes. Um, it's interesting how this tandem and everything keeps working. Backstage, we saw Paul Heyman revealed to Uso that Braun Breaker is not looking to take his title, rather to slow the momentum and basically to hurt him. And whether it be Uso, Paul, Gunther, short term, because Seth Rollins is the long term, which I like this. All right. Roxanne got to go. She just signed a deal to Raw, and she was going to have a match between Natalya and Becky Lynch. This match was really good. Given up to Natalya, she wrestled over at Crockett Cup. She looked amazing. Did the honors there, and but the thing is, I loved the Becky Lynch involvement, and I loved that Lyra and her are feuding. This is now a feud. This is now going back, forth, fighting, and someone's going to pay. And in my view, this is going to keep going until one of these women are out. So I loved it. It felt like we finally got to see a version of Lyra that's just a badass, and I like that. And I can't wait to hear from Ladarius about that. Eventually, we'll talk to him about it. But this is kind of what, when we were saying, "Don't worry, let's see what they do." This is what we were talking about. Lyra is just one of those. She's special. Okay. Yeah, there was a Let's Go Roxy. A match that should not have been as long as it was. And that's kind of the thing you'll hear too. Sheamus versus Grayson Waller. This should have been a beatdown. I mean, I'm sorry. When I look over at what Waller is, I don't. It's like I would have just, beat him up, move on. And I just felt like they just took way too much time. And it was it was an okay match. I'm just saying, it just felt different. And of course, so after the match, pre-taped interview, they had Michael Cole, Pat McAfee. He's all excited because he has the Indianapolis Pacers stuff on. Oh, let's see here. Let's see. What's up, everyone? I thought Raw was the show. I liked Roxanne 1. I liked the segment with Roxanne Judgment Day. Yes, we'll be hitting that up too, John. And I like Lyra and Becky. Yeah, that's what we were hoping for. And I like the face-to-face. I did too. We just talked about that. So it is all good. Give me 1 second, folks. Let me just hit the mute button. Nothing like a phone call right during the podcast. But you know what? Hey, I don't get paid for this. There's no money. So guess what? I can do this. Okay. Hello, my name is Jeff. Okay. What's up, baby? And then let's see. We got Ladarius. This is a weird way to find out. No, you have not been relieved of your duties. I told you you were going to get some time off this week for your family. I wasn't going to burden you to the show. Like when Jay super kicked Logan, and I like the ending of Raw. Cool. And by the way, Ladarius, I am not relieving you of your duties. All right, trust me. I really need you here as a co-host, but I want you to know that I was letting you take time off for your family. So tell your sweet mother we want her 100%. So yes, LOL to Ladarius. He's an awesome man, awesome dude. Love him. So all right, we're gonna talk about. And we just finished talking about Lyra there, Ladarius. I did miss you were here, but So apparently WWE 2K, they learned their lesson. They're not putting Pat McAfee in the game, but they're putting Tyrese Halliburton and Jalen Brunson in the dunks and destruction pack of 2K25. What are we doing? What are we doing? 2K, stop it. All right, we don't need this kind of mess here. All right, I get it. We've seen the stuff. It's funny. Hee hee ha ha. Cut it. Hold on. So backstage, Sami Zayn vowed to have the Usos back. You know, that's at an main event and prevent Rollins and Heyman and anyone else from interfering on Punk's behalf. Okay, good job there. I mean, that's a lot to say. Can I at least have come on for at least? I swear, I love you, dude. You know that. All right. You know what? Ladarius wants on. We put Ladarius on because you know what? He is executive producer. Lee Fitty. Did you hit the mute button? No, earlier, but now I done. So can y'all hear me? Well, we're about to find out. So invite guest, copy. All right, I should be back now. I can hear you now. All right, cool. And I would love to hit the mute button on Pat McAfish. Yes, I know. Yes, Pat McAfish definitely deserves to get the mute button hit on him. I don't even get the. So basically, Michael Cole, who's a Knicks fan. Sorry, Michael. And I think Knicks fans are insufferable. Backstage. I read that about Raw. I read about the Cure. Oh, they showed Cure Tatsuzawa. Not real big on that one. Okay. All right, cool. We're gonna get to the match that we can have, Ladarius. All right, Ladarius, I sent you the link. So if you want to join the party, come on through. So I'm gonna try to hold out hope. Or see, I would love. I love the feature one. We have that, but also I would love to hit the mute button on Pat McAfee. I can hear you now. Cool. So, but yeah, we're gonna talk about probably the most not upsetting, but it was very hard to watch. So first of all, Rhea Ripley. The moment you saw her, she's a star. It's like bam, the pop and everything. All right. Now I would like to make this very clear. I said you can enjoy your time off for the family. Be there with your mom. Help
well, first of all, hello. Jeez, how
Hello.
rude. Jeez, how rude. Jeez, comes in. Jeez, come in with your father figure pointing finger. Like,
Look,
I know what you told me, but I think we can figure out by now. Yeah, I listen to what you say. I value what you say. Now, the execution part of it, eh, we'll see. We'll see.
well, all right. Well, just talked about the Lyra Valkyria interference, but yet and the win for Roxy, but also the fact that this is kind of what we've said about with Roxanne and everything is, or not Roxanne, but Lyra. This is making her something bigger than what she was before. I felt. What did you feel like after that point in the match?
To me, well, first of all, I'll share my thoughts at the back end.
Yeah.
About a personal message, but listen, for Roxanne, I think when your nickname is the Prodigy, And if people know, I'm not. If you know what someone young, talented, future bright, that is Roxanne Perez, and her winning the match. And I love the way that it was done, where you protect. I don't want to use the word protect even, but Becky, a part of me felt that Natty was going to take the pin in some capacity, and in the way that they kind of had, Lyra Valkyrie come involved and kind of screw over Becky Lynch to continue that rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
I think it did wonders, and then for Roxanne to win, it was a great match, and I think what made it great is you could kind of see how the field's kind of coming together. I'm like, Roxanne looks like a potential favorite. Like there's a couple of more qualifying matches, obviously, but like when you're the prodigy and you're coming into that, I mean, the sky's the absolute limit. And I think when we talk about the future of the women's division, Roxanne Perez's name is definitely in that conversation. But that match was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm trying to fix some.
Oh wait, am I solo?
Pulled the wrong plug. It happens.
Like what the hell happened? I saw my big forehead. I'm like, whoa. We
Yeah,
call
I
it the
know.
JD.
I know.
We call it the JD McDonough effect. So it's
Yeah, exactly. Trust me. All right, there we go. We got it fixed. And
when we
I'm
zoom
trying.
in,
All right.
I was like, I was gonna stack some paper to be like, oh god, we're in the news. Breaking news today coming
And
out
that's
of
the
DC.
news, folks.
We'll
I
see.
thought
We'll
it
see
was
you next time.
awesome. Yeah, I thought it was awesome to see. It's like this. The way we discussed it was like, okay, they obviously want to make her bigger. They want to make her like feel, a whole lot. Can you still hear me? Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure. I'm just gonna have to fix this another day. All right. So, but yeah, I felt like they were gonna fix this to where Becky wasn't going to be involved in the pit. There's no need to. It was cool to see her work with Roxanne. Don't get me wrong. Roxanne, yeah, I agree. We'll go all the way. I mean, if look, you could tell she's right there. And yeah, magic trick. Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. I disappeared. We're going to talk about Zoe, and yeah, that was tough. But I will say, I thought Lyra and Becky, God, they're going to keep this feud going, and I can't wait. I actually feel hope. I'm excited about it. I think it'll be good. So let's talk about it, man. They did the showing of Zoe, Kyrie, and then we saw Rhea, the big pop. Let's just talk about that spot, man. That was tough to watch. If you saw it, or if you're on X and you saw the slow mos, first of all, you need help. Second of all, I didn't want to have to rewatch those, but my lord, um, just hearing her screaming after you heard her say, "Kyrie, watch out." I saw the view where she was to Kyrie, and I'm going, what makes you think you can make that? I'm not trying to be funny. I'm actually asking because, pancake, Stephen Richards said, pancake yourself. You can come back to the spot when it's easier to do, but my God, it was just awful. And then they had to carry her out. But what did you think about that whole thing?
It was excuse me. It was hard to watch. I'm the type of person all I need to see it is once. I don't need to see it, over and over again. They used to do that with injuries with football players, like back in the day. It's like older, like use an example, like it's older than you wouldn't, not gonna bring up the age difference here.
Oh, it's fine, but it's true.
But
But
when
you're
Joe
so
Theismann,
right.
but when Joe Theismann took that hit and
Yeah.
we saw, and you just need to see it once. And then we saw in basketball, I think it was Sean Livingston for the Clippers. So, like all you need to see it was once, and you're like you just saw whatever happened in the fourth. We saw with Jason. Like we've seen injuries, and like I just need to see it once. And
Yeah.
you know, if you repeat it, the only I don't think there's a real logical way to keep showing it, unless we're looking at it from a medical perspective. Like I like to hear like when medical doctors who talk about it, you know, or or they know it, and they talk about, and someone on like the Nick Harris, Professor Nick Harrison, great guy to follow on social
Yeah.
media, and he talked about like his wife is is a personal trainer, and they were watching the match, and he said that his wife says like all it was all he saw like an MCL ACL automatically,
Mm.
and I was like and I value that opinion because of what his wife does, and he's a
Yeah.
wrestling fan in himself. And it's like for Zoe Stark, no matter how you feel about Zoe Stark, it's like you don't want to see anybody. At the end of the day, when you're a wrestler, heel, face, whatever, it's hard to see that happen. And and critiquing about it, if you want to do that route, sure, I recommend you don't. But you saw, for Zoe, she's had a history of problems with her knees,
Mm-hmm.
and you just go, oh no, and you feel for her because the work it took to get back to that position, and then now you're kind of feeling like, man, is this going to be like a square one situation, which it might be, and it's nothing but a speedy recovery to her.
Yeah. I mean, let's make sure that doesn't get lost in the sauce. I mean, it's big
Yeah.
speedy recovery. That's a huge way to go out. And I mean, I know she's been hurt before, and like I said, the screaming, the hearing her. I mean, I felt horrible. And
Yeah.
look, I've been a big critic on her, but I mean, I've said it, but it's not like I wanted that to happen. Um, and like I said, I was, it's funny. It's almost like you could actually see maybe they were trying to build something to see
Hmm.
maybe if they can do a right to censor kind of thing, or her
Yeah.
just get holier than thou. But I mean, we won't know, and that's the suckiest point about it. Let's see here. So I'm catching up on the comments, and then we'll
Oh yeah. Oh,
talk.
you're good. You're good.
Uh,
I
Roxanne will replace Liv. Okay. Well, we'll talk about. You know what I like about Roxanne? She knows what to give gifts. She's a good gift giver. I think that was very sweet of her. The Hurt Syndicate already have it, but someone's ready. Oh, sorry, I'm not used to talking about AEW. Cowrie looks like
what the hell is that?
Yeah. Hey, pal, we're not AEW. We don't get sponsored by them.
Wait a minute.
Uh,
Wait a minute. The script.
the Hurts. Yeah, we'll talk about AEW because I'm sorry, some of the stuff they did, I was like,
It's not
when
in
you
here.
can turn MJF, who's your best heel, into the biggest dork, I'm definitely you're losing me. I'm done with hearing that. Like MJF's the ace of the company. I'm tired of hearing Will Ospreay's the best wrestler in the world, and I'm also tired about Mercedes Moné. Can bring viewers. None of these things have ever been proven true. Ricochet still can't cut a promo. And look, there's a promo, there's a thing out there you need to watch from Pro Wrestling Bits. I don't usually, but I like this one. Oh my God, the making fun of Ricochet was funny. WWE is better to deliver. Yeah, and they don't get, The Rock doesn't come on to, cut them off at the main event. I think The Rock just gave them a mercy killing, if you ask me. I mean, you got to see Black Adam and see Pierce Brosnan as I almost said Brother Fate. Dr. Fate.
What?
I just made a new hero. He's Brother Fate. Brother.
Who's gonna play him? I'm afraid to ask.
I know. Hold on. It's going to be a mask, but it'll have the old mustache and Fu Manchu look. Oh, my God. My favorite CM Punk. Yeah, the straight edge side. Yeah. All right. Let's get back. So Rhea wins the match against Kyrie. I mean, credit to the women to have to pivot. You could definitely see Rhea was communicating with Kyrie at soon as that happened to make sure they were both good. And then they just took it over. And I mean, I don't think Kyrie's in trouble or she was in any wrong. It's just bad timing. It's just a bad spot at a bad time. So I just hope. I don't know about that now. Look, you got a Pope from Chicago. Let's not push it. Not only that, CM Punk may want to wrestle some more. I don't want to curse him and make him do stuff like that. Well, hey Phil, you want to be the president? What? How dare you? Let's see. Where are we at? I'm trying to remember. So we got the Rhea. So we got that. Talked about the Stark injury. The Rhea. All right. Yep. So let's talk about it. So the Braun Breaker, or not the Braun Breaker, but Finn Balor comes in. The Judgment Day Clubhouse. And he brings in Roxanne. And he was bringing up the idea of a new member. I personally love it, personally. I actually do. I actually kind of think Roxanne actually fits in the Judgment Day. It actually does fit. She brought a box of nuggets for my man, Dominic Mysterio. I mean, personally, I got to go here. If we're going to grade on gifts, the silver plate of nuggets was far massive than the box of nuggets. I love the idea, but I'm just being honest, and that's why I think Dom's not going to cheat on Liv for Roxanne. He might be Dirty Dom, but I think he's a little loyal to Liv. But the biggest problem I had, she gave a gift to Carlito. And it was a nice red apple. And Raquel slapped it out of his hand. Like, girl, this man hits on you 24/7 a day. And you can't let him have an apple? That's wrong, girl. That's wrong. You're doing him wrong. Don't do Carlito like that. He ain't looking at her. He was looking at you. Why? I don't know. Maybe a couple of concussions. We don't know. But, I'm just saying. I feel Judgment Day don't need to be so anti bringing people in, especially Roxanne. I think, this woman brought in gifts, and that always touches me. If she brought me a gift, I'd be like, hell yeah. You know what? Come on in. Come on into the clubhouse. You're in. She brings Ladarius a gift. We're not going to be mean to her. Roxanne. Yeah. Right, Raquel, work on that, man. I mean, man, be nice to people.
Oh, listen, man.
Yeah.
My guy Carlitos, listen. If you can't tell that man, listen. Some people have very odd ways of showing love.
Yeah.
And I think deep down, I think Raquel is noticing a little gifts, little apples, but I do want to go back to the point about with Dom and Roxanne.
Yeah.
Listen, we all thought Dom and Rhea was going to last too. We all thought that, and then all of a sudden, kaboom.
Yep, that's true.
Listen, I'm not saying, I'm not going to say he's dumping Liv for Raquel now. But listen, when you have a track record, it kind of follows you everywhere. So, and you think about Dom with Rhea, Liv, potentially Roxanne, and he's inter.
Man's a goat.
Listen, get the Hall of Fame jacket already.
Yeah,
get it. I don't. I mean, he could be world champion in 5 years and be like, yeah, that's great. But man, did you see who he had? This man had Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, and that's the Hall of Fame to me. Like what?
Yeah, I mean, you talking about Hall of Fame. I mean, man's got a wife, has an ex, has a side, and now man.
The man's gonna have his own WWE biography.
You know,
We
well, he'll
always
do-
we all talk about the dark side. Let's talk about the light side of the ring.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was supposed to-
could land. He is living the dream. You know
Like
what? I think everyone's kind of agreement here. You know, he is he Hall of Fame worthy. You know, GOAT status. I mean, that's really MJ's probably going, damn, I can't even do that. I'm like, damn, MJ.
Listen, like the song goes, some guys have all the luck. That's dumb. That's dumb.
Yeah, that is dumb. Yeah. Then you have you have Pat McAfee wanting to do a bet. Hold on, Triple H will be out of a job sooner than 5 years if WWE does. Look, I don't know. It's like this. I don't know if WWE is on a tailward spin or not. What I would say is this: the stories have been lagged, and then you couple that with. I just really wish they would kind of sync up the matches better. There's sometimes you're watching and you're going, dude, this match feels longer than it should be. There is no reason why Sheamus and Waller should have fought that long.
Yeah.
I'm like, dear God. I almost wanted to go, are you literally looking at each other going, we're getting paid by the minute here. Let's stay a little at 5. I'm like, dang. I mean, with all the stuff you could have pulled up, you didn't need a Sheamus Waller marathon match. And no offense to Sheamus, but it happens. I wanted you to just beat him and move on. Now look, Rusev versus Tozawa better not be a long match. You better make that match be ended quick.
If that's longer than a 5. Listen, that needs to be a Goldberg match. Like,
yes. Someone has to die, and it does not need to be Rusev. It needs to be the little guy. I mean, sorry, it happens.
Tozawa with the schoolboy pin on.
Man, don't do that to the Redeemer. I mean, I do like what they're doing. Should have gone. No. Sheamus is fine. It's just you're putting him with Waller. It's like this. Theory, I could see him going with. Theory can actually go. Waller, man, I don't know. He's okay. It's just something about him. I just can't. He's not even mid card yet. Wherever you could tell who's your mid card, you could tell who your main eventer. He's just not there. He needs to get somewhere soon. Let's see. So we got the money. So Braun Breaker versus Jey Uso. Man, this match was just nonstop craziness to the point of Seth Rollins hitting the ring. Then you had Sami Zayn hit the ring. And I'm going, okay, Sami's going in. And then Sami's waiting, and I'm going, is he about to, jump Jay? I mean, I thought that. I was like, dude, I was not wanting a Sami heel turn, man. That's not really what needs to happen here. Here comes Punk. I was like, okay. They're beating each other up all over the place. It makes sense. And I'm like going, oh, okay. Why are they lingering on Jay so much? Oh, no, you know what that means. Sure enough, out of the screen, you see Logan Paul deck Jay with his bloody mouth. And I'm going, bro, you telling me that super kick really busted you up that bad?
That's a strong move, man. Strong move.
I tell you. I mean, I thought the Young Bucks, perfected it, but oh well. Jey Uso's got people bleeding. But yeah, that was Raw. I think that's why I was like, the whole thing with, and by the way, the whole thing with, if they decide to do that with Roxanne, Proto and Judgment Day, I actually don't think that's a bad deal. We never had a woman's faction. We haven't had a woman faction within a faction. So that would be kind of interesting to see how they would work that out. Finn was making good points, I thought. The main event, look, obviously it did what it was supposed to. I thought Braun and Jay has had better matches, but it wasn't this wasn't bad. I love seeing. Yes, we know Chris Adams invented the super kick. Just don't ask him to drink with you. But also, I will say, when you look at what you saw with the guys, I can't wait for this tag match. For 4 matches. Look, WWE, AEW could take a note because you have this show that's called one of your big shows. Yet WWE has taken the Saturday night main event and said, we're just going to, so far, we're giving you 4. We'll probably throw a 5th match somewhere. But here's your 4. Priest and McIntyre in a cage. Cena and R-Truth. Jay versus Logan Paul. Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker versus CM Punk and Sami Zayn. And I'm more excited about that. And then I'm very excited about Battleground. Problem, Georgia had a weather issue, and we had NXT preempted because people were talking about the weather. So I didn't get to watch NXT because, I was so mad. I was like, you bastards.
Great concert.
Oh, I know. It's like I had to watch off X. And then I had to see old boy beat up, by the way, big dude. Good morning. Just got back with the hospital. Newborn number 6. Wise man staying busy. Wise man staying busy, almost as if he took the magical stuff that his freaking Rollins, freaking Brown gave him.
I may have given him something, but I think it goes without saying, Craig has a couple of, he has the rest of the week off, and then essentially an early weekend, Memorial Day, so he's, to enjoy number 6. Congrats to, he showed beautiful kid. Congrats to him and his lovely wife, in addition to his family. It's fantastic.
Yes. It got awesome job there, Craig, and happy for you, buddy. Expanding that family. Now you got a 6 Man of the Year candidate. Hold on. We got some good comments here now. That purple Easter suit.
Yeah.
Look, you don't understand. You don't understand. Ladarius is like Ladarius freaking Brown. This man.
I had to fly that suit in. They didn't have that suit in Iowa. I had to personally custom made that suit in Florida. And I say, I need you to fly this out to Iowa about 2 hours. And it got there. And the commercial, it was shown locally in Iowa. I guess some things were frowned upon. But nationally, did great. Did fantastic. So.
Oh, yeah. And by the way, yes, Blue Chew. But we don't have a deal with them. But yet, you know what? Heck it. Our wise man was able to connect Ladarius for a billboard spot, if you will. So, I was very proud of Ladarius. We take all victories. And we'll take all donations too, because especially now that, I definitely don't need to be outside after my issue. Blue Chew, still time to be a sponsor. See, look at that, Craig. Look at that. Craig, hard working man.
I tell him a day off, he's back in the office.
Almost like how I told you take the week off.
Whoa. Don't you put that spin on that. No, you spin that right back to yourself. You spin that yarn back to yourself, pal.
Yeah. SmackDown wasn't too great. I mean, John Cena will turn. Yeah, I kind of see it happening. I just don't know when. My thing is, it'll probably be over the top like it needs to be and go from there. I don't know who needs to beat him yet. I still say Cody, but that's just me. I miss my Cody. All right. So I didn't get. So those are the 4 matches off the Saturday night main event. And then the 25th, I know there's some, indie show called Double or Nothing. Don't worry about that. Nothing big's happening. You will be able to watch NXT, though, on the Cock. Just go check out Peacock anytime you like.
On the what now? What was that?
On the Cock, Peacock. I'm waiting for them to cut it down like they did with Max.
Speaking of on the Cock, Bluetooth.
Look, the whole Rock thing. Let's stop. Rock is not working with Cena. I'm sorry. He's not a part of the show. If he was a part of the show, it'd be something else. You know. Now I think Cody Rhodes is on a vacation, and the man deserved it. So needs to have time for this. Doesn't care. Rock don't care about WWE, but he didn't care about AEW. I don't know. He cared about those fans because he was like, man, all 5 people watching Collision. Let's get some more numbers up. Put in Black Adam. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
dude, that was so funny. I was dying when I saw that. And I'm like, you mean at neither? And everyone's like, well, it's transmission issues. And, I'm like, this was a taped show. This wasn't live.
oh yeah, we're live. Oh yeah.
Oh, my God. Oh, hold on. This is great. I'd rather watch Scooby-Doo cartoons than Collision.
Yeah, listen, Scooby-Doo, you can never go wrong.
No,
in fact,
you can't.
I have a Scooby-Doo outfit. I'll wear it and I'll post it. I found the outfit. I bought him like a Scooby-Doo. He's just an absolute favorite. And
yes.
Listen, well, Fred's okay, but Scooby.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Yeah, I know. I just I mean, but you can watch Daphne lose to Monet if you want on that other show, but you'll have to spend $50, and I'm trying to save you money. So, but yeah, the 25th we got Stephanie Vacour versus Jordan Grace. I look forward to that match a lot. I think Sol Ruka versus Kalani Jordan. What now? Oh, Craig said, let's see. Got to pick one to watch. Collision or Real American Freestyle. I prefer to stab my eyes out.
I watched 90s infomercials at 2 a.m.
Yes, me too. If you're watching AEW tonight, you're getting Mercedes Monet in a match. No, she's going to do a face-to-face with Jamie Hayter, even though they've done a couple of face-to-face already.
You can never have enough face-to-faces.
I guess not. You can
meetings,
never have
face-to-face.
I mean, it's crazy. Just think, it's like almost like they couldn't come up with something. It's like an all-star 6-man tag match again. I mean,
who were those all-stars again?
Well, 2 of them. What was it? I remember one. It was this guy and 2 other guys. I went, that's not an all-star group. Hold on. Yeah. I looked up and I saw Ricochet in a stretcher match, and I went, whoa, they just like, hey, we ain't got nothing for you, so how about we just do a stretcher match? All right, cool, bet, let's do it. So everyone hit that like button. Yeah.
What's up, April Ron?
April Ron. Yes. So yeah, that's why. But I think the one match that should be the main event. Some say Trick versus Joe Henry. Some say it should be Oba and Miles. I think it needs to be Tony and Stacks, because we need to see Stacks just beat the ever-living hell out of Tony. I mean, we here at Wrestle take Ladarius go.
Listen, if you're supporting Tony D'Angelo, you're supporting terrible leadership. You're supporting bad map skills. You're supporting bad people skills. Most importantly, you have a right to choose who you want to choose. But I've been on Team Stacks since until when I figured out that the guy Tony D'Angelo couldn't do math. It's like 2 predictions. Tony will win, and we will get an epic. Yeah. Listen, Craig.
Yes.
Craig, I'm telling you right now, if Tony D'Angelo wins that match, listen, I might not show up, because if I show up, I might get sued. Because here's the thing. And then whatever they cut on NXT when he was talking, And it's like, oh, you were good as the second. That's why he turned on you. You never gave him the opportunity. Yeah, I said, by the way, he's the one that took the Dark State matter into his own hands. It was him, Crucifino, who's still on a couple of milk cartons in Nevada somewhere, and two guys from The Sopranos 25 years ago.
At least he had 4 people.
Yeah, exactly. He had 4 people because you know how many people, you know how many members of Dark State there is? Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. Cuatro members. There's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
And then you weren't there, and then Rizzo leaves. Oh, I'm on the phone. Oh, we all know who she called. And then I want to talk about like destruction of property. Listen, whoever did the drywall, look, not a great job. not your best work. Not your best work.
Amen.
But and here's the thing. Like Stacks is the type of guy who gave Tony the opportunity to get it right. It's not like he just jumped at the first time he screwed up. He gave him times to course correct. And he couldn't do that. When it came to Dark State, that was the last straw because you show up with a crowbar already. I don't think you even parked the car. You just parked the car, you had a crowbar, you went to a 24-hour Ace Hardware, got you a crowbar, and now you want to start showing up beating up people like you're the great hero. And then you confront Stacks about, I told you I had this. No, you didn't. Because if you did, Stacks went and do what he did. And then I negotiated. And I'm like, I felt like Crucifino should have been in that room negotiating.
I was kind of like, why did Crucifino not go, excuse me, I'm the lawyer?
He's like, wait, what? And then we saw what happened for his services are no longer needed. So, and most important, and I'll be done. You negotiate a match. Oh, I booked it. Dark State versus the D'Angelo family. Hey, pal. There are 4 members, but 3 of you are men. And then you fast forward to the match. Rizzo did better than Crucifino. She did something. She took out the 4th guy.
Yeah.
And what does that mean? That means there should have been 4. There should have been a total of 8 people in this match, not 7. And you know what? Dark State has a right to complain. Like, why is it every time we have a match, we have to sit someone out? When the women literally they had a 5-on-5 match.
Yeah.
You're telling me
it has been done.
There's a precedent for this. And then people are like, oh, the boss. Listen. Chef Boyardee is scarier than Tony D'Angelo, okay? All right. Vito Corleone, scarier. Mario as a mob boss, scarier. Mario could jump on you and in you. He jumps on turtles like it's nothing. And turtles have very hard shells. That's more productive than whatever Tony D'Angelo did or has done. And then you fast forward when the confrontation between him and Stacks is somewhere in a place that looks familiar to me. But the point is,
yes.
And then he brings guys to the ring, and then 3 or 4 guys attack him. I'm like, my guy. One of those guys could have been the 4th person.
Yeah.
Oh, this is my security. So wait. You have multiple security, but you couldn't get one guy to be security, who all of them are wrestlers, by the way. I'm going to take a stab in the dark and say all of them are wrestlers.
I'm going to even say one of them isn't Evolve.
Yeah, I recognize the few faces from watching, Evolve. You could have picked one. I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and call you a paisan, but you're a paisan. It's like, listen, I just hope, and all that's right with the world, that Stacks takes out D'Angelo. Treat him the way you treated Crucifino. Tampa. Listen, Tampa's surrounded by a lot of water. I live in Florida. That's all I'm gonna say. Listen, where's D'Angelo? Let him go be an actor. And that one thing he did that maybe half of one city maybe half of Nebraska probably watched. So,
I mean, he could definitely be typecast into the mafia movies.
oh yeah. Listen, I seen a movie where Joey Lawrence was in an Italian movie. I've seen The Bar. Listen, it's not like it's the High Bar where you're like, oh man, you got to jump and get the records. No, if you literally, it's like a limbo bar. Listen, instead of you going under it, if you could just jump over it, you're good. I've seen The Bar for these mafia movies now. It ain't no Goodfellas. It ain't no Godfather 1, 2, or 3. You could do a Godfather 4 with all AI, and it's more watchable than anything. If I see Tony D'Angelo, hey, my first act, hey guys, there's 10 of you guys. Listen, and we're facing a family that has 50 people. What did you say? I did all. You didn't recruit? Oh yeah, I knew about. Yeah, there's 50 guys down in Yonkers. You didn't get them? Oh no, man. They said they were. They said that they were fighting for some other guy. And like, hey, and they look at the side. Yeah, that's the other side. I'm hopefully Stax does his job.
You got one job, Stax. You got one job.
Listen, Stax, if you got merch, I will buy some Stax merch. Because I wouldn't. No.
I'm all for it.
Tony D'Angelo shops at whatever the next thing under Men's Warehouse is, whatever Lowe's that is. Gentleman's Warehouse. Where it's Men's Warehouse, but the outfits are typecasted. So there you
It's Men's Warehouse, but for a different man.
Hey, I'm Tony D. No, I'm done. Yes.
See the tailor. I hate my job.
Yeah. I worked at Walmart, and that was a better job than this.
The Colonel from Kentucky Fried Chicken is more scary than Tony D.
Right. And listen, he's a colonel. First of all, he has some leadership.
Yeah.
Yeah. What Tony D'Angelo, a mob boss? Listen, did he not know? Listen, the mafia. Listen, they tried to shut down mafias. Listen, it's not a political thing. A lot of political parties, both parties couldn't figure it out. It goes to show you, insert whatever administration you want to. There's still a mafia going around. So either whatever, they're still around. But yet, y'all listen. Someone needs to take out Tony D. I'm not saying I would put some money toward that, but I would.
If there was to make a wish.
Are you sick? No, I'm just sick of seeing Tony D'Angelo on my television.
Oh man! So, also big congratulations to the two winners of LFG. God, I had their names and I just forgot them. But I was happy that she won the Olympian.
Tyra May, was it Tyra May Henry or Tyra?
I was so glad for her.
Yeah.
I really was happy for her. I wanted her to win because I know she was going through it with some because they were like, "Oh, you smile too much." I'm going.
Yeah, that irked the out of me.
It did,
like, especially early on. It's like when she was talking, it's like I forgot what was it. Somebody said it.
It was Bubba Ray, but the problem I had with it, I wanted to watch because I saw her and I was like, "Oh, I really want to see it because of her." And when I saw it, I was like, "Oh my god, I don't want to." No, what? No, she shouldn't. No, she needs to be her.
And then when she had to, and then when they did the vignette about her, listen, that's why she doesn't smile. Because, listen, Bubba Ray, listen, I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
I'm like,
yeah.
If we had, like, understand the background of the people on your team before you start, like, listen, before you start doing that. Because, listen, the one thing I did agree with him on, I mean, to hijack the segment, I apologize.
No, you're fine.
But the one right thing that he did, I think it was with BJ Ray. I think he went after him. And I think they were like in a tag match.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically he tagged himself back in the match, which listen, I haven't stepped foot in the ring unless it's an onion ring. But anyway, but
Man, you make me hungry.
bam, jokes. But
Ah!
I understood why he snapped, because you don't. It's a tag match. You don't make it about yourself. There's 4 people involved. Don't make you. I agree with that, and I think with the guy, I can't think of the guys on the top of my head either. But like, listen, if you put them in, I can see, they got NXT contracts,
Mm-hmm.
and in fact, we saw one of. In fact, we saw them on NXT attack Obafemi, which is sad. So, and listen, and like even like Zena Sterling did very well. I think you couldn't. Listen, it's one of those things, and I'll give the floor back to you. I understand there's like maybe a handful of people may have felt that, but like going with Ty, that was the right call, because you look at her and you go, like, you can't teach strength. Like, there's certain things you can teach people how to grapple, you can teach people how to wrestle, but strength is either you have it or you don't, or you have to work toward being like. It's like any great athlete, there's some things you got to work on. Even MJ, LeBron, they had things they had to work on. When you're an athlete, like you look at Tyra, like she may have to figure out some more things in the ring, and that goes with experience. But like as when it comes to strength, there's not a lot of people, a lot of people in that show, especially on the women's side, that could touch her. Like maybe the one Bailey kid who came from Baylor, Bailey Humphrey. Maybe you can make a case for her, but like, congrats to both of them. And I think a new season's coming out in June 22nd or something like that.
Yes, the 22nd.
I think with the new. I think that's where we're going to get
Michelle McCool.
Yeah,
which will be interesting. I'm like I said, I'm happy about that. I think the training in WWE now is a hell of a lot better than what they had before.
Yeah, so, I would. Yeah, like, even like 5 years ago, like you could. It's not like 10, 15. Like, it's just different. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I think this will work a lot better. So and that's how I say that. And also, big shout out to Sean Legacy getting the big dub against Javon and Ashante. I don't know what the heck Ashante's on, but anyway. You know what? Look, I gotta go here. Ashante is getting to the Tony D levels, because you know why? He's tried too hard.
Yeah, and not only that, it's like, listen, people sign off on that. Who said, "Hey, go out there and wear that robe, buddy"? That's a bath robe. That's not a robe to like. No, that's not a. First of all, it's not a wrestling robe.
You gotta watch out who you're kissing on, because
right. And what's worse is that, man. It's like, and then he found the woman. And I'm like, and they'll go for the cheek, and then next thing you know, the lips. I'm like, man, listen, that's how lawsuits happen. Like, that's
that's how diddying happens. So you need to be careful.
For the record, CDouble said that. I am just.
We don't know. It's alleged, but
it's alleged. We always got to put the word. Listen, allegedly. Yeah. We're not Matlock and Perry Mason, so obviously he would be Matlock because he's from Georgia. I'd be Perry Mason because just because. But anyway, that's
just on principle.
Of elimination. Yeah, I like the music. Remix with Oba. Yeah, we got something.
There we go. Boom!
Where's Tony D's house? I feel motivated. Let's go. Where's that safe house? I just found it on Google Maps.
I love how that was like the whole center of the feud that night was. What, Tony? You don't think I remember where the safe house is? I'm like, please tell me Tony is not this stupid.
And where do they go? You guessed it, America.
Like, how did he know the safe house? I'm like,
You literally, he's been your, you know what? Yeah, that's the equivalent of Tom Hagen not knowing where the Corey Leone compound is.
Thank you.
Like Tom Hagen knows, like he's the consigliere. It's only a handful of people supposed to know. And why is he one of them? How did he know? Because he stood right beside you in front of the safe house. And they should show a picture of him standing in front of the safe house about like 3 years ago. Like, and Craig actually uses the word Craig allegedly uses Blue Chew. Yes, those are allegations. Allegations.
I mean, if Blue Chew decides to sponsor and offer, we would definitely be.
Listen, you'll see me. Listen, I might not be able to move this desk for a while, but let me tell you something: the product will be sold.
Yes,
I might have to put it in with some of my food to make sure that I want to take. I took the box. You did what? I'm not feeling.
Man, but yeah. So I mean, that's really what's going on. I mean, I know AEW's got their show going on, and
yeah, we should talk about AEW. And I think
look, they finally look. Tell me if this doesn't sound almost like this. Remember the whole day remember when, someone would try to copy off your paper and you just look and go, can you just make it like you wrote it? Yeah, I could do that. That's this scenario. Let me expound. The Hurt Business, MJF, the best story in AEW. Not really. Sami Zayn Bloodline. I just picked what that was. So, I mean, we're just missing, Bobby Lashley, throwing the ones up. But anyway, or giving him an honorary Hurt Business shirt tonight. Oh, God, and they probably would, too. That would be hilarious. So FTR have been bickering with Tony Schiavone and Nigel. Doesn't that seem like Gunther with Pat McAfee? Oh, but don't worry. This is how they did the homework and made it look their own. Daniel Garcia is involved. The man that makes watching wet paint dry an Olympic sport. All right, and don't even get me started on Ricochet. He beats a one-legged man, and then people say that was actually a pretty good match with him. Like, and of course, Will Ospreay, who still can't get WWE out of his mouth. He's just said today, for the right price, he would be a Paul Heyman guy. And I'm going, you stop, Willie boy, stop it. Go make you know what? Go to the store, buy you some nice clothes. Because one Dave Meltzer's saying he's tired of you dressing like a slob. So go do that, okay? Dress up for Dave. Have your 50-star match, 56th, 57th matchup with Hangman, and then we'll still be bored to tears. And then they decided to do the Anarchy in the Arena match. Who's in it? I don't know. They haven't really told us anything. They just said Anarchy in the Arena, and they just kind of let it linger. I'm like, man, this is just a bad fart at a church. This just lingers. You just can't walk away from it. And the rumor is that Willow and Maria Shafir will be a part of both teams in this match. And I'm going, that might be good, but then again, why don't we just put Willow in a match where you're fighting for the women's title?
That's too good of an idea. That's not.
I know.
It's a novel concept.
She just signed a contract, so you would think, hey, let's sign her. Let's build her up. Let's get her out there. Let's try to get the most bang for our buck.
Wait. Who beat her for her belt? I can't remember who.
Oh, Mercedes Moné.
Ah, thank you.
You know, the one that if she wins against Jamie or Daphne, she gets to go for the women's title. But remember, she has the TBS title. She's only defended 3 times this year.
We're in May.
Yeah, it's been May.
That's gonna be May.
Oh,
Nothing up for you.
yeah.
You're not gonna lose it, but you're not defending it. Okay, thank you.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. That's Wrestle Takes version of what? We don't know, but we hope you enjoy it.
It's music, and we hope you like it.
You know, they said make a joyful noise in the Bible. Well, they never told us what a joyful noise actually sounded.
Listen, they never said what it was. Like, if you read it, it was left open to interpretation. That's what we did.
Mercedes face to face with Jamie Hayter. Oh boy, man, that's so exciting. We all know Mercedes is gonna bury Hayter. Can hang with Mercedes. Yeah, on the mic, but yeah, she's getting buried. I mean, I'm sorry. Because I don't see how if you put Mercedes Moné in the tournament and you didn't really objectively look about beating her, then all this is for is so you can set up her versus Toni Storm.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I think that's a really bad idea.
Yeah, it's terrible idea because let's be clear. The best thing to me personally, Toni Storm is the best thing, not just in AEW. She's one of the best things in all of wrestling.
Yes, she is.
She sells you on the gimmick. She can hang in the ring. She checks a whole lot of boxes. And if they give us that, I'm not saying it's going to be a terrible match. I'm just telling you that, in the words of Paul Heyman, it's not a prediction. It's a prediction. He's not guessing. It's a prediction.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Yeah. Spoiler.
It's going to happen. And people are going to be like, oh, like, listen. And then what are you going to do with Toni? Well, what happened to the last champion? What happened to Mariah May? I don't.
Report says she's interested in coming to WWE. So who knows? Who knows what's actually happened? Leave Mercedes blocks this little. Craig, stop it. I mean, I think this it's like AEW had a good foundation, but what I'm tired of hearing all the time when it's from Will Ospreay, I look at Will Ospreay and I go, damn it, all he does is talk WWE. It's like talk about the product, talk about you, talk about your opponent,
sell the product.
Yeah, sell the show. Why does the AEW title mean so much to you? Besides of a pay raise, that's all I'm saying. And then, MJF, I hear he's the ace. Sorry. If anything, I hate to say it, he's become a one-trick pony. It's like he's funny, but where I used to say, well, I could see him in WWE, but now I look and go, no, I don't, because like you're seeing him with the Hurt Business. This is as close as WWE he'll get because the guys, the massiveness, can you work with it? And now if he can, good on him. But man, he is just he's not where he's supposed to be. He came back, I love the whole champion of America, and then and then what did they do? Put him in a feud with Danny Garcia. That told you something. Danny Garcia kills careers, pal. Mariah May's in Guantanamo Bay. That's where she is.
Shit, man.
Counting down the days with Wardlow.
Yeah. Wait, and then also, I think Camille, like, they're all just sitting like, what are you in for? Oh, we're just here, man.
Oh, you'll be out before us. You see Camille. I wish I could be free.
They told me I'd be a star. Yeah, he lied to you like everyone else.
Yeah. Hold on. And Wardlow goes, yeah, we all were told that.
Wardlow, were you a champion? Shut up.
He's shucking corn. Yeah, I was.
Yeah, once upon a time. TBS or the TNT. I don't remember.
I wish I could go back to the days where Ricky Starks called me a dumb bitch. Wasn't that the other guy, the sideboard dude? Oh, yeah, I just wish it was me because God knows that would have been used then.
I've been relevant. That's a whole lot of corn. You can never have enough corn.
Still shucking the corn.
What's for dinner? Just like always.
Corn.
Corn and maybe a piece of meat. We don't know what the meat is.
They see Sammy Guevara come out of the cell, and he's like, yeah, they're putting me on the show, guys. Oh, must be nice. Yeah, we're going against the Hurt Business. Oh, okay, so you'll be right back next week. All right, we'll see you.
What do you mean? See you next week, Sam.
Yeah, see you next week, kid.
And sure enough, like a broken clock right twice a day, Sam Guevara showed back up, battered, bruised, courtesy of the Hurt Syndicate.
He will get pinned in the match. It will not be Dustin. For some reason, hold on. They got to keep him strong, even though he's old, he's weathered, he's ready to retire. It's like, there's a young Dustin, or there's a young Sammy Guevara. Let's use him. Huh?
Shouldn't he? Nope. He's going to take the pin.
Britt Baker, weren't you a champ? I was. Britt Baker, I hate my life.
Working in the field, working in the champion with the go.
It's like, you believe that little boy dated Britt Baker? What? Nah. That's Adam Cole. Oh, I thought that was still the little boy.
All I got to say is, boom! No, right, stop.
No one's playing video games with you, Adam.
Yeah, I missed that. Because why are you with WWE? I need to be on a contract to play these games. And you see
They're like, oh, who brought the Make the Wish kid here? No, that's Adam Cole. What?
Boo! You look different.
What happened to you? Triple H and Shawn are crying around him. He used to be bigger.
We'll get you in shape, man. I swear to. I don't know who did this to you. That son of a. You'll never
live this down.
You'll never go hungry again.
Anymore, guys. I just want to do super kicks. No, damn it, you can do more.
No, your feet doesn't always be in someone's face. Stop doing. You can use your feet to run towards someone and use your fists.
It'll be like in a Rocky series, someone's training them.
There's no easy way.
There's no dodge.
He lifts his leg. They tape his legs.
He wants to slap his thighs so bad.
They tie his hands behind his back.
Hunter and Shaw's like, no, we're going to go hardcore. We're going to make sure you learn your lesson this time.
Bro, dog, get in and help. Hey, you guys said getting good grades. What do I got to do? You got to take some hits. What?
No. We want you to beat him up, but without throwing a super kick.
That's fair. We'll make an exception. He did deserve that. He did.
Yeah, he did. He's Road Dogg. He deserves one.
He took the last tater tots. Yeah, he deserved it. Yeah. That'll teach him. Those are Higgy's taters. Those are Higginbottom's tots.
I tell you, I was watching this show, and it's the Curse of Oak Island, and they had this cylinder, and they're trying to dig up, and they called it the one thing, and I'm going, the one thing, and then I saw TOT, and I started laughing. I went, ha, top one. Let's go check out them tots.
Are they crispy? I wouldn't say that.
They're not saggy. So, all right. Well, look, we just discussed everything in wrestling, and like I said, I wish. But yeah, this weekend is full of wrestling. Check it out. I know me and Ladarius, we'll be watching. I know I'll definitely hit him up. At least watching Saturday night. Almost called it SNL. Saturday night main
Hi,
event.
we got a great show for you. Nicki Minaj is here, so stick around and we'll be right back.
John Cena and co-hosting R-Truth.
Ladies and gentlemen,
You know
Jesse
what? That actually would go better.
Man, I need to bring back Jesse the Body. Like, get him.
Yes. Just to make Pat so uncomfortable. It's what I would say. I would just look at Jessica. Whatever you can do, just make Pat uncomfortable. I will pay you triple. And get you more feather boas.
Say less. He's buried in feather boas. You can't see his face. Let me tell you something. Who's talking? The guy, it's Jesse. Who gave him the Oh, see, yeah, got it. Would you bomb some? I was gonna give him $20, but he just said, man. There's no easy way.
Yeah, he was training in the dungeon, Monsoon. I'm Michael Cole. You're Monsoon today. You brought up Heidenreich, not me.
Oh, man.
That was stunning. I never thought he would bring that up.
Yeah, listen, he's man, that barbecue sauce didn't look so bad.
I'm like, dude, I take the barbecue sauce bath before I deal with Heidenreich. You still never told us what all he did. Show us where he hurt you. I can't.
Yeah, they never did show what was. But shut up. There's no easy way. Don't say easy way out. Don't say the word out and easy.
That still hurt. Everybody hurts.
Every time. Sometimes, no. Every time I sit down in a chair. No.
It's like we always wondered what happened to Michael Cole. It's like, wouldn't that have happened if Pat McAfee would have been with him? No, I'm loyal. Well, here's the thing, Pat. You would have not stopped the butt rate.
Wait, what? Wait, what we're saying what happened is that we're saying that Heidenreich and Cole had a conversation that maybe involved words and sometimes it didn't involve words. So
some were said in a silent voice and some were said in a silent whimper.
And in the sound of silence.
Cole still cries every time he hears that song.
Not the Disturbed version. Disturbed version is a little bit better. We're going to use the Simon and Garfunkel
version. Great.
We're going to use the Simon and Garfunkel version. We're going to.
One of his kids says, "Hey, Dad, I wrote a poem."
Hello, darkness. What did you say?
A poem from Heidenreich. I'm like, oh God. He was one I could not stand. I was like, dear God, get him off.
He looked like a Temu Dolph Lundgren. That's how he looked.
Yes, it literally looked like Vince looked for Dolph Lundgren, found this guy, and went, "You'll do."
Hey, what do you do? Just throwing some red and some red glove? Yeah, that's Russia, right? Right?
I think this works. Taker probably looking.
Oh man, thank God they didn't try to make an imitation of me. Should we? No, we're not gonna. No. We're not going down that path.
We did it once. Didn't go well.
Who won the match? Undertaker. Which one? Shut up.
We didn't. We said whoever won would be the real Undertaker. Good thing I didn't pay the other guy.
The check was somewhat large enough. So
yeah. Shoot, we know what that means when it comes to Hulk. All right. Well, look. So I hope y'all like. Yeah, it was kind of quick, and we did an early one. And like I said, next week we'll be back at our normal time. And big ups to Darius for joining us. I do appreciate it. And yeah, Britt Baker.
Listen, Quick and early. Listen, Blue Chew. Listen, quick and early. Blue Chew. Well, you can last at least another 7 minutes. Now,
Yeet.
oh wait, oh yeah, I can do the. When you need the stamina to go all show, we're not talking about this show. You don't talk about that other show.
You know,
There's sheets. There's probably some lighting. Maybe y'all wear some stuff we don't want to talk about. Maybe maybe I do some cosplay. You know, when y'all dress up like Storm, one dresses up like Cyclops. You know, whatever you dress up as, it's okay. Everybody's show ain't the same. What's all the same? Blue Chew, the chew that makes it smooth.
Yeet.
And the joke that will never be said on this show, but other two people who know the joke, and they loved it.
Yep. And great show, fellas, by the Wise Man. Thank you, Craig.
Hey, congrats once again, Craig. Papa Craig.
Yep. Congrats on the Rookie of the Year or the Sixth Man of the Year, Baby of the Year.
You know, it's great that I'm a godparent once again. You know, another story to teach when I retire. You know, maybe I think he'd be pissed off if one of his kids take my place, and he's been there like all these years. He'd be pissed.
I'll be one of those. They just know you're part of the family. That's kind of how it is over here. It's like, oh, Ryan's here. Oh yeah, hey Ron. Hold on. Oh God.
Ryan right to know. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Knock off drug. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dolph Lundgren. Yeah.
Yeah, but without the power and the steroids.
And no Brigitte Nelson.
Yeah, no Brigitte Nelson. Brigitte Nelson. So nothing like Dragoff, but hey, he was close.
Look at that.
The architect.
Hey. Someone's getting extra gifts this year.
Yes. Hold on. I guess I'll be Braun or I'll be Paul Heyman. Either way, it's fine with me. It's all good. Or wait a minute, he's Paul Heyman, so I'll be Braun. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey, happy holiday. Yeah.
I'll just show up in the jacket. What's up, little kid? You want to do math?
Yeah. You want a pony ride? What?
Let me show you how to do math.
Let me tell you. 3 + 3 ain't 6. The system lied to you. Yeah.
All right. Well, tell all the good people where to find you. And also, like I said, we're glad that you're back. And we're also glad that your mom and everyone's doing better. But yeah, go ahead.
This is the part of the show where I take over the ending and I'll CDouble fade away. Now we can all just, I'm the executive producer. We put all the cameras on me. Now, well, first off, Jesus. we heard noises. Like, wait a minute. Wait, post-production is going to be a failure. You can find me
the credits roll.
Jesus. You can find me on Twitter and TikTok at Ladarius_Brown. You can find me on Instagram, Ladarius_Brown. And you can find me writer for Beyond Women's Sports. WNBA season underway. And all of you in the chat, I just want to share something personal. I want to thank all of you. First of all of you in the chat, John, Craig, Christy, April, Ron, Chris Gallegos, I believe.
Yeah.
I want to miss anybody. I think I got. I said Christy.
Yeah.
So I think I got everybody. Yeah. And wait, there was one person I saw. DB. Jeff. He said his name is Jeff.
Yeah.
So thank all of you in the chat, and I want to thank all of you who know the situation about my mom. All of you who reached out to me, DM'd her. It really means the world to me, and I had to come on here. First of all, for my friend over here, CDouble, and supporting and all. Like I said, all of you guys who took time out of your day. You didn't have to. I always say time. People say time's a construct, but no, time is precious. And the fact that you guys took time out of your busy days just to see how I'm doing. And that's why I always tell people, reach out. And that's why sometimes we check in on each other. And all it takes is a hey, how you doing? And I know, so like I know me and Craig talk a lot, you and I talk a lot. So ever so we reach out, and I just thank all of you guys for doing that. Whether it's every day, every other day, whatever. However, you guys mean a lot. That's why I had to come on here first to get my D'Angelo stuff out the way, and just to come on here just to say thank you. I could never repay you guys for your kindness. It absolutely means a lot to me, and especially to my co-host here, to see that who allows me to come and do this show with him. He could have anybody else. Well, I've seen the list of candidates. I could be in trouble. So once again, just thank you all for just allowing me to come in this space and just talk wrestling, and then knowing what's going on, it means the world to me.
I mean, look, there wasn't going to be anybody I was going to contact. I was like, I said I was going to take care of it because I wanted to kind of make sure you had some time. And look, family is, it's all we got. So, and, you make your friends and, you become close. And like I said, there are many times I've talked to you, I hear her, and it's always fun. So I just, prayed for her and you the whole time, and, your dad as well. So, and I respect you a lot for that, man. You take care of your family. It's all that matters. And at least we can have some fun, have some laughs, and make each other crack up at least. And, if not, at least, have some laughs at least, So I want to thank everybody for checking up on my guy. And also check us out, CDouble 28. That's the YouTube channel. Hit like and subscribe. Also, CDouble 20 or AWTN on X. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to stay with StreamYard. I probably will. I might go back to the free version. I'm not sure yet. Thinking about it because $44 is a lot of money. But we'll see what happens. I'm trying to figure it all out. But we're going to get this straight, and we'll definitely be on next week. And then we're still going to be talking about what we're doing for the football show. So just stay plugged into Wrestle Take. We'll always give you an update on what we're doing that day. So with that being said, CDouble. That's Ladarius. We gone. Peace. Enjoy your early show.